showing them that you believe in them allows them to believe in themselves. Working on the confidence, the self-esteem, the self-worth, the purpose, having a purpose.
G'day, I'm Debra Caldow. Welcome to the Red Giraffe Solutions Expanding Worlds podcast, where we aim to support you as you help your young person with additional needs plan for their future, a future where they're safe, secure, and live a rewarding and fulfilling life. From around the world, I share stories and I share solutions from people making this possible right now. I'm a parent of a young person with additional needs, so I understand the challenges. Many of the people I've interviewed on this podcast have already helped me design a better future for my daughter, and I hope that they might help you as well to imagine what's possible for your young person. This podcast is made possible by Red Giraffe Solutions, which is a project I'm proud to be part of, supporting families to build a better future for their children. We now have available at Red Giraffe Solutions an online course called Independent Cooking Made Easy. This is a new and unique approach we developed when we realised traditional cooking techniques and recipes were never going to enable our daughter to cook without some support or supervision. It's a safe, simple system that uses no more than 5 ingredients, has no weighing, cutting or chopping, and no lifting of heavy dishes. Each of the 16 recipes in the course includes a step-by-step video of our daughter making the meal, plus a visual recipe card. We developed this for our daughter to solve her challenges with cooking, and every recipe in the course she can and does genuinely cook for herself. You can find a link to the course in this episode's show notes. So it's back this week to one of my favourite topics. How do we get more of our young people into paid employment? One of the key parts of this is being ready to work, having the skills needed, and having experience of what work looks like. In the next 2 episodes, I'm talking to 2 people from an organisation called Springboard about some of the challenges around navigating this transition period. Springboard is well named because that really is their focus, giving the young people they support a springboard towards greater independence and towards getting into paid work. They do this in several ways, and in this week's episode my guest is Francesca Diana, and she's discussing the challenges around finding work experience and what that should look like, as well as the value of volunteering. So enough from me, let's hear from Francesca. Thank you very much for talking to me today. Can we start off by hearing a little bit about you and then the organisation and also your role within the organisation?
So I'm Francesca and I have worked with young people with SEND for about the last 8 years or so. So I've come from mainstream education into special education and now I'm here at Springboard. Springboard is a charity organisation that supports families and young people with SEND. We have our short breaks team and they provide activities and day trips for the younger people to do. And we have social groups. So that is for the younger people, we have a social group, but also for the adults, we have a social group. And they get to go out and they get to go to things like laser tag and go out for meals, have that real social aspect of life and make friends in a supported way. We also have a stay and play. So that is for the preschoolers. The preschoolers come in with their parents, carers, and can basically have free reign of the house. We've got a role play room. So at the moment, setup is construction work, so they can go in and be builders for the day. And then that will all get changed around periodically. And then we have a sensory room as well as a really lovely garden space. We've got a big garden space where they can have bikes and trikes and outdoor kind of messy, that sort of thing. So I'm the SEND coordinator here for the Stepping Stones project. We run work experience, we run volunteering and employability sessions, we run cooking with confidence, we run life skills. And so our work experience programme is run during the school holidays. So people who are 16 to 30 can come in and spend 4 days out of the week. Myself or my colleague Claire will work with them to experience work across the setting here. So it might be that they are gaining customer service experience because they're signing in customers coming into the stay and play sessions. They might design and create some activities for the preschoolers to do. They might get some hands-on cleaning experience. There might be some admin roles that need to be carried out. It could be some filing. It could be going around the centre and going through all of the first aid boxes, making sure that the first aid kits have everything that they need to have in them, and replacing them if they don't, checking the dates on things, doing stock check for the snacks and drinks that we sell, and also making the drinks and selling the snacks themselves. So just lots and lots of different jobs that they can do around the centre to gain experience.
Are they coming to you without any work experience at all?
Yeah, the majority of the young people that come to us haven't had any work experience. They haven't had any volunteering experience anywhere. They've done college and then that's it. There's not a huge amount for them to then go on and do. Yeah, so they will quite often come to us with no experience of anything to do with the workplace.
Why do you think it's happening like that?
I think there isn't enough support for our young people with SEND to be able to access those opportunities. Coming from working in a special needs secondary school, there were a few of the students who would go and do work experience somewhere, but that wasn't an option, across the board.
Was that because of their support needs?
Yeah, I think, some of them, it was their support needs. And a lot of the time, there aren't the places that are willing to then take our young people. Even though we're going with them and we're going to be supporting them, they're not going off on their own, and we're just expecting companies to, take these young people and show them how everything works. We're doing it with them, supporting them.
Is that a fear, do you think, of what they might get wrong, or is it a misunderstanding of what support people might need, or do they not understand that someone's going to be there with them? What do you think is the big barrier there?
I think it's probably a little bit of everything. I think there's probably that fear of, well, I don't know how to support somebody with special needs. That's not something that I've had in my life. And, I haven't got the time. I'm busy doing my job. I'm not going to have time to support that person. Perhaps even if they know that a supporting adult is going to be with them, it might still be, well, I still haven't got the time to then take my time out of my day to really go through this, so that then the supporting adult can carry on with the support. A lot of companies say that they don't have the insurance to allow us to go into their companies in the first place. I think there's just a general kind of feeling of, this just feels too much and I don't want to, it's not something we can facilitate. I think a lot of the time it's an instant no, which is a real shame.
So when you have the young people and you're developing these skills, what are the key skills that you look at really trying to develop with them in that in-house work experience that you do?
So the biggest thing is working on confidence and their self-esteem, their self-worth, their feeling of having purpose. That is the biggest thing that we work on. By giving them tasks that are going to be achievable, they can then see, I can do that actually. I was really good at doing this, or I really enjoyed doing that. So there's a lot of work on confidence and recognizing those skills when they're showing them. It's about letting them see what skills they already have and what skills they're showing, like in our in-house workplace. After they've done the work experience, we then have the volunteering and employability program. So that runs for 12 weeks. So they do the first 6 weeks one-on-one, and we go through lots of different elements of volunteering and workplace experience. So we'll go through things like emails, how to send emails, appropriate emails, non-appropriate emails, that kind of thing. We'll talk about CVs. We'll have a look at their CV if they have one. If they don't, then we will create a CV and we'll focus on the personal statement, writing all about them and selling themselves, which is really, really tricky to do, talk about ourselves in a really positive way and say, oh, I'm brilliant at this and, I'm brilliant at that. So we talk a lot about having that confidence to be able to do that without sounding arrogant. We do interview prep and a mock interview. So we have a practice at an interview, go through all of the questions, and the following week is their interview. So they'll come in and wear smart clothes and have an interview with myself or Claire or both of us. We will ask them all of the questions as if we were in a real interview, which is experience that a lot of them have never had. So we do that for 6 weeks. And then the following 6 weeks is then the practical work experience. So at the moment, it's in-house. So part of my role and what I'm trying to do is to speak to other businesses to see if we can go there and we can support them to have their work experience at a place that they are interested in. So we have one young lady who comes to us who would absolutely love to work with children, play school children. So here they've been like creating crafts that they can deliver to the stay and play sessions. But what they'd really love to do is work in an actual play school. So I have contacted a play school and I've got a meeting about them being able to go and do some volunteering experience there where we will support and go with them. But what I need to do is I need more companies. I need lots of different work experience places for them to go so that it can fit in with something that they are interested in, something that they would hope to do. And by having that experience, would hopefully be more able to then get a job in that area that they would like to.
It feels to me like you're doing a lot of the work that I would assume should be done in school and college.
It hasn't been done for some of the young people that I am supporting.
I guess I come back to why aren't we getting that bit right?
I think there's so many different elements to it. I think some people will look at our young people we send and think, well, they're never going to get a job. They're not going to do these things. So why waste time and energy and money and effort into giving them these skills and experiences? So I think that's an element for some of our young people. A lot of the schools, they don't have the budgets, the support to be able to do stuff like that. So they spend it on other things and kind of don't see that as important. I think that work experience should be much easier to obtain for our young people. It would be lovely if more companies would open themselves up to that possibility for our young people. I think it needs to be changed from business level. So I think the businesses need to have people who are going to be going in to support our young people with SEND, to learn the roles they're going to do. There aren't enough businesses who are willing to give them a meaningful work experience. A lot of the time you think of their work experience as they're sort of plonked in front of a computer and not utilising their skills that they have.
Do you think that volunteering can have the same value, or is that not as much so because it's not so structured in terms of a business and what you might do in a work role?
Yeah, no, I think that volunteering also is really valuable. You get people coming in to volunteer and help with your company. You know, they're coming in, they're giving their time. So I think in doing that, you get support with your business in whichever way you're asking for volunteers to come and support. But also you're giving that person a sense of purpose. You're giving that person experience. You're giving that person something to talk about when they do go for an interview somewhere. Without those opportunities, what do they talk about when they go for an interview?
Is there a difference then when we think about work experience? We think of someone going into a business and having to do all these different roles, whereas we think of volunteering, at least I do, you just help out. Should we be just saying to businesses, take these people so they can volunteer? Maybe that would take away some of the barriers.
Yeah, potentially, because I think people are more accepting of volunteering because they can see the benefits that they will get from that. They will get, a couple of extra bodies in that will be able to do X, Y, and Z. It's not them thinking, I've got to provide this work experience. I've got to provide jobs that they can do. I've got to think of jobs that they will be able to do. Whereas volunteering is much more, you're still thinking of those jobs that you want these young people to do, but it feels less pressured because they're coming in to help out.
A lot of the skills that you're talking about, I'm assuming that parents and families could also play a role in helping young people develop some of these skills. What would you say to parents and families who can't access what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I think working on that confidence, giving them tasks, opportunities at home to show that they can do things, that they can be independent, they are able and capable, and just building that sense of I can do this. yes, I might have some barriers and I might need some adaptations and this might be tricky, but I can do this. And showing them that you believe in them allows them to believe in themselves. Working on the confidence, the self-esteem, the self-worth, the purpose, having a purpose. I think that, there is a responsibility on us as parents to be talking all about all the different jobs and what that might look like, what they might do. Have that belief that your child is going to go and live in society and be as independent as they can and be able to work, and encourage them as much as you can, I think.
I agree with Francesca. Believing in our children is so key to helping them build the future they deserve. But we also need to marry that with practical actions, like finding the meaningful ways to get that experience of a work environment. And more likely than not, it's probably going to fall back to us to help them find those opportunities, whether that's work experience or volunteering, so that they can build those work-related skills that they need. In next week's episode, I'm talking to Claire from Springboard, and she's explaining the other practical life skills that they work on with the young people to bridge the gap between education and work, and also empower them to become more independent. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope that the stories and solutions shared on here help you as you support your young person to create their future. If you know anyone who would find the ideas useful, please share the podcast with them. To support the podcast, please consider finding out more about the Independent Cooking Made Easy online course. It's a safe, simple system that works. There are links to the course in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at Debra Caldow. I'd love to have a conversation with you on any of the topics we all care about. Bye for now.